the state championship edition of the Coach Salt Show. We're joining you here live from Sugar Shack. Coach, we just finished the pep rally at the high school. It was awesome.
Great.
It was awesome. And now we're here at Sugar Shack, and I know you got a lot of work to do, so you got to get on the road and head back home.
I did tell my wife, though, Coach, I said, honey, the whole city showed up for the pep rally. It's special here. That's a fact.
It is, Coach. It means so much to our kids, to our school, obviously, to have the community support. And that goes, I've heard you allude to it the last few days, the school being named after the town.
Right.
It's something special about that.
It just means more, Coach. It really does. You're not wearing just the name of your school. You're wearing your entire community on your chest. And I think our kids play harder because of it. I really do. It's a point of emphasis that we're going to keep continuing in our program because I just think it is a special, special place.
It is, and it's important that we represent our family, school, and community. We say it all the time, right?
Yes,
Do it to the best of our ability, and our kids have done that this year. Everybody's excited. It's ironic that it happened in year 2. I know we thought we had a chance, and you did, obviously. And you and your coaches and under your leadership have gotten us here. So congratulations, man.
Thank you, Coach. And you as well. You can't get in these things without a great administrative team and great leadership in the principals, Chad. It's just people don't realize how important that is. And I think it's just been a community effort. Yeah, you see us on Friday night, but there's so much, you've been a head coach as well, that goes on behind the scenes that you have to have really great coordination amongst administration, staff, faculty, team, community. It just all came together at a great and special place, and I think we're here to stay for a long time.
You're exactly right, Coach. It takes so much. There's so many good quality schools and football programs in Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
But there are only so many that have made those trips down to that Superdome, and it takes a lot. And some people, how do y'all got? Some people just, for whatever reason, it could be talent, it could be support, whatever. But there's a reason that you see the same names over the course of history.
Coach, we're going to have, another sign go up on our building. I mean, this will be the 5th sign up on that building. And we've been playing football for 100 years. So I think if you told any school, hey, once every 20 years you'll get the dome, I know we've had recent success. You've had 2 before and, now again. So this is 3 times since 2009, Coach. That is a great effort. And I really contributed to the community and the school because you have such a bond between ourselves and our community, and when people saw it happening again and the cycle of kids coming through, I really think Franklinton now is back where you envisioned it could be, and I just think we're here to stay for a while.
No doubt. There was some, as I alluded to in that pep rally, there was some talk when I became, man, what's going on? What happened?
Right.
They don't have this. They don't have that. Excuse me. The ingredients are here.
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of getting the right guy and yourself to run the football program and building the support back up throughout the school. Mm-hmm. And that's something we've been blessed and fortunate to do, is build a great staff and with a common cause, and it's a blessing. It's really a blessing.
Yes, sir.
So, Coach, now we'll turn our attention. We'll talk a little bit about last week's game against Iowa. Semifinal matchup in Demon Stadium.
Right.
Nothing like it.
Nope.
We had a good crowd. Iowa is a quality football team, proud community, similar to Franklinton. They brought a lot of fans, and they brought a pretty good football team
they did.
as well.
And purple and gold, too. Yeah, Coach, I think our kids played with tremendous confidence. We got an early lead like we've done. We kind of lost it. We never lost the lead, but we got tied. It got close again. But our kids have played with unbelievable resilience, but also unbelievable perseverance. And when it got close, it kind of put it into another gear that Iowa couldn't match. And we went down and got the semifinal win. Now watch those seconds tick off the clock when you're taking a knee. It's the greatest formation of football. And the happiness, the euphoria that you could see with not only our players, but everybody, the support teams and the crowd, and just the emotion, people crying. And I know it was a great night, but what it did was open the door for us now to get on those charter buses.
That's right.
And go
Finally.
to the Superdome.
That's right. So the first time we traveled, you know what? You talk about overcoming adversity, and I truly think that when your players trust one another, when your players trust the coaches, when the coaches trust the coaches, and the coaches trust the players,
yes, sir,
you can overcome anything.
I agree.
And that's something that our kids have done throughout.
Thank you, Jacob. First completion of the season counted there.
Our players have done throughout the year, and that's a product of the leadership and the guidance that you've provided them, and the trust that they have in you. And they've just, there were some momentum swings. Obviously we go up 22-7. They come back. We're in 22-7 at halftime, and I felt like we were behind, because we were struggling running the football because of the quality of the front.
Right.
But hey, we got back out there. They took some momentum, climbed back in to tie the game, and then we did what we had to do to win.
Yeah.
Great play to end the game with Jacob Crane, the pass to
Hey, buddy, how are you?
To who?
To Dalton Freeman.
Dalton Freeman, right. Cheese. We are cheese. And the throw he made to Dalton Galloway, that last drive, side brought the run game. The O-line did their job.
Right.
And just a huge drive, a game-winning drive. Defense goes out there with, I think, about a minute, maybe under a minute to go, and holds them.
Yeah, Coach, and I want to, I really want to give a shout out to Coach Stephen Burris, who came in. I asked him to come help us in the middle of the year, and he stepped in. Coach, he has done a phenomenal job with our defense. The preparation that he's put in, and where our kids are playing now, as compared with where they were just 3 weeks ago, has been phenomenal. And so when we went out there with that lead, our kids were comforted because he had put him in position to end that game. So I want to give him a shout out, Coach. He's done a great job for us.
Yes, he has. To come in that late in the year,
right?
But the experience that he has and the ability to decipher what somebody's doing and maybe where we need to move somebody to provide additional support. That's important to have from somebody up in that press box.
It absolutely
because it's not as easy to see on the field what's happening.
Right.
So yes, he's been a great addition, and your coaches have done an outstanding job.
They all have,
Coach. We've got one second-year coach, one first-year coach, maybe another one that's got about 6 or 7 years.
Right, not many.
And
Coach, when you think about it, Matt Hughes, who has done an unbelievable job, is a young man. And he's been coaching a while because you took him under your wing, and he learned a lot of football from you that's carried over into what he's doing now. But our staff is young but talented. But it goes beyond football, I think, with those guys. You brought up a good point today about Drake Westmoreland, how important he is in the community.
Thank you.
Steve. All right. Thank you, my baby. How important he is, not just from a football standpoint, but for our community and what our kids see him doing, from a faith standpoint. And that's a big part of our program. We have a tremendous belief in our faith, whether if you're a Christian, whatever your denomination is, he has brought a special belief in Christ in our program, and I think that carries us as well.
I think it does too, Coach. Ironically enough, I was telling my wife that when I walked in the office the other day, Matt Hughes was reading the Acts of the Apostle.
Right.
So we have some faith on our coaching staff, some belief in the good Lord above, and that's important. That provides some stability and calmness in the face of adversity as well.
I believe that's true, Coach. Yes, sir.
And so there's a lot that goes into it all. And like you said, Matt Hughes, to be where he is, the job that he's doing calling plays, and the ability to communicate with Jacob Crane and prepare him week in and week out to execute. I've told people, a number of people this year, how does this team compare? All teams are different.
Right.
I said, I'll tell you this. The thing that stands out to me is the level of execution of our offense this year.
Yes, sir.
We in 2010 we had 3 guys that were Power 5 football players.
Right.
Sure, we don't know if we have that yet. Maybe we have some underclassmen. We don't know what the seniors' opportunities they'll get. but the execution is at a high level.
It really is, Coach. And I think, too, both offensively, defensively, and in our kicking game, we've been able to execute at a high level.
When it's needed.
Right. I told Matt Friday night when we got in the office, that call and that throw and that catch in my 42 years of doing this ranks number one. I mean, it was just phenomenal the way it was executed and threw it in front of speaking of Power 5 players, number 3 for Iowa, who's a commit. I want to say he's a UL signee now. Made a great play and we were able to shake the tackle and get in and score it. So, man, our coaching staff at school has just done a phenomenal job.
You're exactly right. A lot of play calling is preparation,
right?
But the timing to call that during the game is a skill. And it's an art and a field. So,
right.
Great job by Coach Matt Hughes. And so, Coach, we leave with the victory. Turn of this week, we got some challenges with the weather, and rain and cold, and where do we practice and where do we prepare? And you and your staff put together a plan. And right now, I feel like, the team's well prepared. The coaches are well prepared. It's been a busy week.
Yes, it has.
And we're blessed to have the opportunity to get out on some turf, get some practice in. And
I'd like to give a big thank you to Southeastern.
Yes.
Coach. Those guys let us go there, and we were there at 8 o'clock at night. And their season's been over for a while, but they let us use the facility. And I really want to thank them for letting us do that. But you're right. I think practicing on the turf prepares you. Practicing under those lights in a college stadium prepares you for the lights in the Superdome, because that's a different animal if you're not ready to look up in those lights to field a punt or a deep ball. It can blind you a little bit. So our kids got to see that kind of lighting and environment. And I think we practiced very, very well. It was rainy and wet, and then it got really cold, and kind of like our season. Our kids did not deter. They didn't back down. They took the challenge and ran with it. So
they certainly did. And we'll Cecilia's a proud program.
Sure.
We won't get a lot into things that they do. I think, people know that they're a proud program, and they've got a tradition. And they'll be a tough opponent, but ultimately what we've been focused on all week is us.
Right.
And preparing ourselves to perform at our best tomorrow night in the Superdome. And I feel that our kids are prepared to do that. And I commend you and your coaches for getting them ready.
Thank you, Coach.
I think sometimes that goes unnoticed. There's so much focus on who you play and all that. But you've got them ready to go. And we're ready to make that trip down Highway 25. I told somebody one time, they said, how do you get to New Orleans from Frankton? I said, you take a right at the school and it's straight.
That's right.
It is about an hour drive, though, and you got to make that, which is why this show is going to be shorter. I'm sure, Coach Nate, next week, we can have a great coaches show.
Yes, sir.
To end the season and wrap up and, highlight all the different accomplishments we've had. I don't want to keep you from getting your rest, Coach. I know you got a long drive. I'll just tell you this, the energy in Franklinton right now is palpable.
It is.
You know it, I know it. And we encourage all of our fans, all of our supporters, wear your purple and gold, be in that Superdome tomorrow, bring that energy. Our players need it. Our coaches need it. And let's bring home that championship to One Demon Circle. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on the Coach Salt Show. Good night, everyone.
Good night.